When you travel in a van like we do, you're always looking for ways to bring things with you that can also pack down nice and small so that they aren't going to take up a lot of extra room in your vehicle while you're going from place to place. Camp tables are nice to have. Sure, a lot of times you might be at a campground where they provide a picnic table, but they're not always the most comfortable to sit at. They're not always in the greatest shape. And if you're out boondocking, there's not likely to be a table already there for you. So you need to think about bringing camp tables with you. Today, I'm going to take a look at the folding camp table from Deerfamy. It's about camping with your deer family, is their sort of play on words, and so they call it Deerfamy. But anyway, this is going to be just an overview, a first impressions kind of review of this table that I recently received. And we'll take a look at things I like about it, things I might not like about it, and how it seems to stand up overall. One of the first things I noticed about this camp table when I received it was the decent bag that it's in. It seems to be a decent thickness in terms of quality, and what I like about it is it's nice and big so that the product fits well inside, and it doesn't seem like it's going to be one of those things where if you buy sort of the cheaper camp chairs, you may often find that the thing barely fits inside and you're ripping the bag pretty quickly right after you've received it. So far, that's a positive thing right there for this design. Anytime you have some sort of folding or collapsible unit, you're going to find that you may have a number of pieces, and that's clearly what we have here. This appears to be the frame for the table itself. Looks like we've got some cup holders here that are going to be installed in some way, and this is the first time I've pulled this out of the bag, so I'm learning about this the same time you are. And then this is clearly the legs and the supports. So let's go over by the camp chair and see if we can set this up and what this looks like when it's all done. It's going to be a pretty safe bet at the second or third time, and probably by the fifth time you've put something like this together, it's going to go a lot easier and it's going to be a lot faster. But this is the very first time I've pulled this out and am trying to figure it out. I did notice that, like a lot of other companies these days, there's no instructions on this thing. I guess maybe I'm supposed to go online and look it up. I don't know if it's even there, but it'd be nice sometimes if they didn't expect us all to be, master puzzle builders. But let's look at this. I mean, it's not that hard. It is all mostly connected here. This is clearly the legs and the supports. And so we've got that there. This is going to come across and click into the top here. And then we've got another support bar that comes across here. Okay, your frame is built. I guess that was pretty easy. Not really much of an issue there. This would appear to be the tabletop, and it does have a nice elastic band that goes around it. I kind of wish that attached in some way because I could see myself losing that pretty quickly, but we'll just put that around my wrist for now. Okay, and then this is just an unfolding. It's an accordion type tabletop. So set that on somehow, and it looks like it's going to clip in to the top of those supports. And I may not have that open all the way. If you're noticing the top of it looks like it's a little bit scratched up or funny, it's just because it still has the wrapping on it. So it does come with a nice protective coating in place. Although once you use it for camping, it's probably not going to be all that nice after a while. But it's nice to start out that way. I struggled with that a little more than I should have had to, and it's just, I think, a little bit of user error there. I noticed that when I put that crossbar across the top, it was slid over a little too tight, so I just moved those legs out a little bit so that they're at their full extension, and then the tabletop seemed to clip right in. So now everything is clicked in on all four sides. Now, because it's an accordion type top, I'm noticing, you can hear that moving, that the top doesn't really secure except at the four corners. But in terms of stability, once it's open, those four legs are spread out pretty far. The middle doesn't seem to have any problem. I don't know what the weight rating is on this for use. But wow, okay. First impression is that this table is much bigger than I expected it to be when you consider the bag that it came in, because it folds down with that accordion style, and it's a nice slim. It's smaller than a bag chair, certainly, so you're going to take up less space than that when you're trying to store it. And yet when it's open, it's actually a nice big table here, certainly large enough for 2 people to sit in your camp chairs and actually have some space. You could use it for eating and drinking. You could use it for you know, playing a game or something outside here. So I really kind of like that. It's lightweight, so I wasn't sure what the quality was going to feel like when it was all put together, I'll be honest. But you know, it seems like it's pretty sturdy. Now, are you going to stand on it, sit on it, bounce around on it with your kids? No, of course not. But that is something where, you know, that's not what's expected of a table like this. I will say it was a little tricky to get it all matched in, but once it's nice and tight, you can pick it up by the tabletop and it's holding. That's holding in those legs. If you wanted to be extra careful, you could pick it up by the table legs themselves and not put the strain on the tabletop, but I don't think that's much of an issue. All in all, I'd say this is a winner. It's probably going to be something that stays in the van. Like I said, it folds up nice and small. It goes under our bed, is where we've been storing it right now, in the back of the van. And yet when you open it, you got plenty of square footage there for table space. As I mentioned when I pulled everything out of the bag, this comes with a cup holder, can holder, or whatever you want to call it. I actually had to pause the video recording and go look this thing up online, because personally I couldn't figure out a way how this little thing here was going to go all the way across the bottom to stretch across the legs. And apparently it does. You just have to take advantage of it stretching a little bit to get it on there. But essentially it just hooks on to the table legs like so. Oops. It helps if you put it on upside right. I think that's the recommended method to make sure that your cans and mugs and everything actually stay in place. So it should just come across and hook on. The trick is you're going to have to almost feel like you're pulling it too far, but it does have some elasticity to it. So you can make that fit. And then you have a cup holder, can holder, whatever, across the bottom. It's actually pretty sturdy too. Once it's hooked up, it should be, considering how hard I had to stretch it. I have a feeling that's going to get easier as time goes on. They probably make it pretty tight to put on there, so that it does start out sturdy. So this is a table. It's available from Deerfamy. I'll see if I can grab a link and post that in the comments section or in the description below, and then jump in with your comments and let me know what you think about this for a camp table, and maybe give us other ideas on what you're using for a camp table right now. If you found a solution that works for you, again, it has to be something that the van lifers are going to like only if it's a good quality product that gives us some space when you're using it, but folds down and takes up very little space when you're traveling. Thanks for checking out this review. Keep on trekking, and we'll see you out there.